to Cooking with Gloria. Today I want to share with you a very delicious crispy yuca in a delicious garlic sauce that I know that you guys are really going to love and enjoy. But first things first, my apron is on, my hands are clean, and I am ready to show you my ingredients. My ingredients: 1 serrano chili, which is optional, parsley, chicken bouillon, salt, garlic cloves, butter, half an onion, of course the yuca or cassava, vegetable oil. This is everything we need to make this delicious Yuca Fries, nice and crispy, nice and delicious, and I know you guys are going to love it. So let's get started. I am going to start with my yuca. I'm going to start cutting the edges of the yuca and then peeling all the skin of the yuca. This is what I like to do first so that the yuca is more stabilized because it's nice and hard and I don't want you to get cut. So I usually just cut the edges and then start taking all the skin off completely. This is the part where it's going to take a little more time to peel all the skin out of the yuca. Take your time because I know they are nice and hard. So just make sure that you take all the skin off. Once you've done that, then let's go to the sink and let's go ahead and rinse them out really nicely, one by one. We want to make sure that we remove all the skin of the yuca. Once this is done, then we're going to start cutting our yuca in small little pieces, just like fries. From every yuca, I'm going to get about 6 pieces or 6 slices of yuca. And I'm doing it the long way so that you can see the long pieces of the yuca. Just be careful because the yuca, it's a little harder than a regular potato. I want to start slicing the yuca just like that so all the pieces are almost the same size. So when I put them to cook, to boil, they all cook at the same time. So just take your time slicing them and I'll continue with the rest. Now I am completely done. I have a saucepan here. I'm going to go ahead and start adding all the slices of the yuca inside, and after I do this, I already have nice and hot water and I'm just going to pour the hot water right on the top. This is so that the yuca cooks a little faster. If you add cold water, it's going to take a little longer for the yuca to get nice and soft. Here I have 2 garlic cloves that I'm going to add and the salt. Remember that the salt is to taste. I'm going to cover it. Let's go to the stove and let's put the yuca to cook. We're going to leave it covered for about 10 to 15 minutes until the yuca is nice and soft. And here I'm going to continue making the delicious mojo. The mojo is made out of the garlic, and the garlic I'm just mashing it and then I'm going to slice it in very tiny little pieces. You want to do this so that the garlic release all the delicious flavor. Once the garlic is nice and diced, I'm going to go ahead and just add it here to this little wooden container. I'm going to continue adding everything else in here. all the spices I'm gonna add in here. I have my serrano chili, and the serrano chili, I'm just gonna slice it and then cut it and then dice it very finely, because we want all these ingredients to really give a delicious taste to the yuca. I know that once you try, you're going to love it. Okay, now this is the hard work. This is where I get my workout. I'm gonna go ahead and just smash everything in here, making sure that everything is nice and combined and all those delicious flavor really release in everything I have in here. Okay, this is now done. I'm just gonna put it aside and I'm gonna continue with my onion. The onion, I'm gonna slice it and then I'm gonna cut it in very little pieces, because I'm gonna add everything to the same container. And one more time, I'm gonna be smashing it until the onion really incorporates with the rest of the ingredients. Like I said, this is my workout. Once everything is nice and incorporated just like this, let me show it to you. Let me get a spoon and show you how everything is really incorporated. Everything is mixed together. All those delicious flavor. I really love garlic, and if you love garlic like I do, you are going to love this mojo de ajo. And here, let's check and see how the yuca is doing. We want the yuca tender, but not very soft, or else it will pull apart. So we want it al dente, a little hard, but yet not too hard, okay? I have some napkins here in this plate, and I'm gonna start removing all the yuca. You wanna have napkins there so that the napkin absorbs all the excessive water. Okay, I have it right here, and I'm just gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes or 5 minutes while I continue making my sauce, my mojo sauce. I have 3 tablespoons of butter, and to this I'm gonna start adding all those delicious and all the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna let it cook for about 5 minutes in very low heat until everything is really simmering, until everything has really loosened up and all the butter has all those delicious flavors. It's gonna take about 4 to 5 minutes, and you just want to let it be. Take your time, let it simmer for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, this is completely done. I'm just gonna remove it from the heat, start adding it to my little plate so that I could start dipping those delicious fried yuca when they are ready. So I'll just continue removing all this. And now I am ready. I have a plate with some napkins, and my oil is really nice and hot. I'm gonna start adding my yuca. You wanna make sure that you add the yuca when the oil is really nice and hot. You don't want the yuca to absorb all that excessive oil, because if the oil is not hot, the yuca will absorb all the oil, and that's exactly what you don't want. Just make sure that you preheat your oil so it's nice and hot, so when you add the yuca, it starts bubbling as soon as you add it. Look, I am ready to flip them, and I'm gonna remove them from the oil when they are nice and brown. Of course, nice and crispy. So I'll see you when they are nice and brown. It just takes a couple minutes when they become really crispy and brown. Well, I'll continue with the next batch, and I'll see you when this is completely done. And here I am completely done with the yuca. It's nice and crispy, and now I am ready for the presentation. I can't wait to taste it. bouillon with this yuca, crispy yuca, you know, delicious. I added some garlic, mojo garlic that I know that you guys are going to love. It's nice and crispy from the outside, but yet from the inside it's nice and tender. This is a perfect side dish or even finger food. The holidays are right around the corner. You know something? When our family's members come to visit us, well, why not share with them this delicious crispy yuca? This is the part I really love and enjoy, tasting my recipes. Let's see how this yuca came out. Of course that I want to taste everything in here. Excuse me. You know something? The garlic sauce is just amazing, and the yuca is so crispy from outside, but yet from the inside is nice and tender. I know that you guys, my friends, are really going to love it and enjoy it. This just came out amazing. If you liked and loved my recipe, I invite you to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, share my video on social media with your friends, with your relatives, so Cooking with Gloria keeps growing. Don't forget to push the notification bell. And if you did, leave it activated so every time I make a delicious recipe, yes, you are going to be notified. Before I say I see you soon, I wish you nothing but the best. Peace and love. And of course, I will stay enjoying this delicious crispy yuca with this delicious garlic sauce that I share with you a new recipe every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. See you on my next delicious recipe. Bye-bye.